Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kelly, and on this channel this is what I'll be doing. I will be building houses and rooms in The Sims 4, also the occasional create a sim video. So for this video I am finishing off turning a aircraft hangar into a chic modern contemporary home. So if you haven't seen the first part of this video, I will have a link to it in the description down below, so you can go check it out, as well as any other builds that I've done and playlists that I currently have on my channel. So like I said in the last video, that this particular build was a nightmare. Well, not so much the build as much as rendering the whole speed build video, because the build was amazing. I had so much fun creating this. I had so much fun decorating it, and I was so eager to share it with everybody. But unfortunately, my program, I use Vegas Pro 13. My program would not let me render out the videos, maybe because it was too big or had too many audio files because of the music that I put in the background. I'm really not sure, but for some reason it just wouldn't let me, and I get very frustrated. And to be honest, I don't even know how this one is going to turn out, since part 1 took me 2 days to render out because it was constantly crashing and freezing, and just it was a nightmare. I'll just go with that. It was a complete nightmare. But thankfully, I managed to do the first part properly, and it's already uploaded on my channel, so just keep your fingers crossed for this one. And anyway, let's get into this video. God, this intro was pretty long. So anyway, like I said, this is a military aircraft hangar, or an aircraft shed, that I decided to make into a modern contemporary home. I've seen a lot of pictures on the internet in Google where people have and renovate this sort of thing. You know, they have a shed and they renovate it into an incredible and livable home, and I thought that I can incorporate that into The Sims 4. And personally, I love how it turned out. I think I already said this, but I love it so much. And I really wanted to share it with you guys, and I would love it if you comment down below what you guys think. And I really do hope that you enjoyed it at least half as much as I enjoyed building it. In my last video, I mentioned, if you watched, that I say so a lot. And I say it like a lot. I probably say it every third word, and I tried my best to stop, but I guess it's just kind of a habit. So I have I opened up a window with a synonym dictionary on my left, so as I'm recording this, I will try to limit the so's and use other words. I am not sure if it's gonna work, probably not, but at least I'm gonna try. And thus, we are back to the video and back to the interior. In the first part, I already furnished the kitchen and the bathroom, and I did a bigger part of the landscaping. I do have a bit more of landscaping left, more like just finishing off the outside, not so much landscaping, but you're gonna see the outside change a lot. For now, we just finished off the dining room and, you know, the dining area, and now we are doing the entrance. The entrance, personally, I love, because I made the hangar as if the windows were something that was already there, like panels that would open up whenever the aircraft was coming in. So I just, you know, switched them out. Hypothetically speaking, I switched them out with windows, and thus the whole front part and the back part are open, and a lot of light comes in into the house. And as you know, light comes in, you can also see a huge part of the interior from the outside, which limits the privacy a lot. That's why I chose to put in the room sort of in the way, so maybe you can have at least a little bit of privacy. And that's why the bedrooms and the bathroom are completely separate and you cannot look into them. Another thing is that even though I put windows on both sides, and I mentioned this in the last video, I did something incredibly stupid where I put windows in the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms, which was probably a mistake. No, not probably, which was a mistake, because those windows look into nothingness. And I mentioned that it was very stupid of me to do, and you can always just go inside and use move objects sheet to put in some plants, make it seem like it's looking into a garden, because there are windows in the game indicates that there, you know, it's transparent and light comes in, but it's just not pretty when you're on the inside looking out. So again with the and thus I mentioned, you know, that it was a mistake, and I really do hope you guys forgive me for it. This is something that I was doing all throughout this build, trying to move the roof just so I can accordingly move the furniture that was supposed to be on walls, because you can't really put things on the walls where you want them unless you have walls up. And since this whole build is basically one gigantic roof, it wouldn't let me put walls up while inside of the build. It would automatically just throw me out of the house. And that's something, again, that I mentioned in the last video, that if you enjoy playing your games having your walls up, this build is probably not the best for you, because it just wouldn't let you do that. Anyway, I just finished off creating the little office area. Since I didn't have a lot of space left, I chose to make a bigger living area and a bigger dining area, making the space available for the office very limited. So I did manage to squeeze it in, and it does look decent. If you do prefer having a bigger office, you know, you can always have a smaller living area or dining area and just renovating it all together. I personally thought that this was better because there are a lot of bookshelves around the house and a lot of cupboards and desks and sitting areas, so I didn't personally feel bothered by the fact that the office is kind of small. And I just have to say that I love the fact that I finally use this big TV. That's something that I've been wanting to use for a long time. I just never really could because my builds aren't that big, and having the opportunity to use them here just made me really happy. Another thing that I love using was the chandeliers that are only for very high walls, and since I was kind of forced to use the highest walls in this build, I was able to use the chandeliers as well. So that's something that I really enjoyed in this build. And you see me struggle a little bit just and move around a lot, just moving things a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, because I firstly decorated the house with the roof, and I wasn't able to put things on the walls as much as I wanted to. So you do see me go around the rooms moving stuff here and there. Something that I mentioned in the last video is that I tried to keep it a very similar color scheme all throughout this house, which was this green that was military green and red, and bits and bobs that were white, black, and gray. And those were the colors that reoccur through every single room in this house. Here you're going to see me put this little kind of sort of like a, you know, not a bay window, but just a seating area right next to the window. This is probably my favorite place in the whole house. I would love to sit right there and read a book and just stare into, you know, the windows. I think it's just magical. And I am going to move it one square outside, 1 square to the outside, because after I put in the roof, I don't think I mentioned it in the last video. I think I did, but once I put in the roof, I do end up with 1 square more into the house, which is great because I was able to just kind of expand the whole house, which again, awesome. I just love having bigger houses. And the living area, I have difficulty creating living areas. I always have, because if I'm not going according to a strict plan, if I'm just working with the layout that I already have, the living area is probably hardest for me, because I always sort of cramp the furniture together and I try to make it look more lived in, and that requires twisting some furniture around, make it seem like it was moved a little bit, and that just takes up more space, and I'm never really sure if your Sims can get through easily. And they can, because the Sims 4 game has that whole system where the AI of the Sims kind of works better than the previous games, because it only takes them 1 square, no, half a square to move around things, and that's just great. It makes everything a lot more accessible. So I do always feel like I cramp up the living space a little bit, which is, I guess, not good. And I don't know, I hope you guys like it. If you want to expand it a little bit, you can always just delete the little table that I put behind the couch and kind of move the couch backwards. That would probably give you more space. Something that I did here in the master bedroom is actually a few things. First of all, I was going to do something completely different with it. I was going to use shelving on one side of the bed next to the wall to create sort of like an end table, like you see me do here, sort of like an end table that's connected to the bed. That was the idea that I had, and I thought it was really good, but I guess not great for this particular house. Maybe I'm gonna use it in one of my next builds, but it just wasn't working for this one. So something else that I created was kind of like the closet. Even though we have a closet, I sort of did a false walk-in closet, and I do know that the game provides a walk-in closet, but unfortunately I don't have the expansion pack of Get Together, so I don't have that. I don't have a walk-in closet. I'm kind of sad about it, but personally I prefer my version of a walk-in closet with the glass windows, because it just seems like an actual walk-in closet with glass sliding doors, and I love that. I just love how it looks. And even though your Sims can't really use it to change their outfits, I think it brings a bit more realism to the whole game. And here you just saw me put in a fireplace that I'm most definitely going to delete. I don't know what I was thinking. It went with nothing in this house, and I do end up deleting it, so don't worry. I am going to play around with it and put some paintings over the top and try to make it work. But then I was like, wait, what are you doing? It's a contemporary house, and this fireplace has nothing in it that says contemporary. So I just ended up deleting it and doing something different. Like I said, not only do we have the walk-in closet and the dresser, we also have these big wardrobes and cabinets all around the bed in the bedding area, because I wanted it to seem as if all of the stuff that you have were around your bed, basically. Yeah. And it seemed like it would save space, and it would be something that you would do in a very compact house where you don't have a lot of space to put your things in. And because the walls are so high, when you don't have a lot of space down near the floor, you're going to end up putting it up on walls. At least that's kind of what we do in my house, because it's a very tiny apartment. And I noticed that everything has gotten very cluttered around the whole house, and so the idea was to just start putting them up so they wouldn't take up more space. And my phone is ringing. I do apologize for that. So anyway, you know, guys, about this, so I guess it's just not gonna work for me. I am sorry. You can make a game of it and count every "so" I say in every video, and we can compare just to see if I get any better or worse. I'm probably gonna get worse. Anyway, here we are doing what I said we were going to do. I'm not really sure what these curtains here represent. I was thinking kind of like those, not duvets, what were they called? What were they called? The things, you know, the curtains that you hang around your bed. Oh, I completely spaced out. I have no idea what it was called. Anyway, that's what I was kind of hoping to incorporate into this room. And I do end up putting that bookshelf next to the window and making it sort of double. I first tried to use shelving to create like a new furniture piece, but then I realized that I didn't quite like how it looked, so instead I just doubled the bookshelves, and I think it turned out pretty cute. And again, something that I really do enjoy doing is hiding shelves into wall cabinets, because you can sort of simulate like things are laying above on the cabinets, and I just really like how that look, because we honestly, I have in my house things on the cabinets above them, and it's again space and storage ideas. So the "so" is gonna be random. Anyway, like I said, I try to keep the red, green, and black reoccurring throughout the whole build, and here we are finishing off that bookshelf. I created, you know, I made the master bedroom in the red color, while I made the kids' rooms into with a more green. You know, the color of the scheme was greener. And even though it's a small house, I managed to put 2 beds in the kids' room, so you could have a larger family live here. You also do have some free space, which I was kind of careful about, but you can move things around and you can free up more space, which is always good if you want to expand. And you can also expand on the lot, because I have not used the whole lot. Like there's more squares on the right side, and you can always expand that way. Here is kind of, you know, where I put 2 other bookshelves, just so they can be closer to the little office area that I made. And here we are doing the kids' room. I was initially going to make it a single, but I thought that it could work perfectly as a double room, and that's what I did. I ended up putting, instead of desks, because I was supposed to have 2 desks and they just take out a lot of space, and I didn't want that. So instead of that, I used a dining table, a double dining table, and put 2 computers on it. When I play the game, it works fine. It works perfectly using a dining table for a desk. I've used it before and when I've played. So you don't have to worry about it. I'm not sure how exactly it works out having 2 computers on there, but having 1 was fine, so I didn't see a reason why 2 should be any different. And again, I tried to bring the whole office feel from the outside office into the kids' room, and with the shelves and the 2 cabinets, and I just felt like it tied all of the interior design together. Let's see what else. honestly, I'm not really sure what else is left. I think after we're finished with the interior, oh yeah, right, I went a little overboard with decorating the kids' room. Like I said in the previous video, and I've probably said in videos before that, for those of you who don't know, I'm kind of a clutter addict. You know, I go crazy with the clutter items, probably because I'm used to living a bit cluttered and I have a lot of stuff and it takes up a lot of space. So it just, in order to make it feel more lived in, that's what I use. So naturally, modern, contemporary, and minimalism are very hard for me to do because I like having a lot of stuff around. And if I have like now a blank wall, I'm going to cover it from bottom to top with posters, and that is most definitely something that I did in this room. I probably shouldn't have, because now that I look back at it, I could have gone without as many posters, but it was just such a big wall and I wanted to, I don't know, I wanted to cover it. It's probably, I don't know, I guess I'm a little broken in some way. So if you don't really enjoy that, you can always delete some of them. I do apologize. That's just how I build things, and that's just how I decorate them. For instance, here again I have 2 blank spaces on the walls, and of course I put 2 paintings. I just couldn't satisfy myself having just one. Again, we're rotating like crazy, trying to move things around and figure out which goes where and where it looks better. After we're done with the interior, we go outside and we make a little gazebo area, kind of like a patio, where we have a bar and a barbecue. And I love how it turned out. It's a bit different from the rest of the house, but I do love how it turned out, and it's right next to the pool. It just gives this home a bit more, I don't know, a luxurious feel to it, I guess. So again with the cell, sorry, my phone is going all crazy. I guess people didn't get what I said. I'm recording. Anyway, I was struggling a bit with the floor because I did have the idea of having exposed flooring and make it seem a bit like it was under construction, but I guess that didn't quite as much work for me, so I put in, I don't know if we keep them. I'm not sure. I think we kept these. We end up just having again the construction feel to it, but on the floor, but having it like tiles, so it's a bit more it's a bit more polished. Even though it feels under construction, it's like a polished under construction. Something that I do love that I did here was put a tiny little indoor garden. That's probably my favorite, my second favorite part of the house. My first one was the sitting area in the living room, and this is the second one. And it's just, I think it makes it feel very green and relaxing and zen, because the outside and the landscaping on the outside is very minimal, because after all it is an aircraft hangar, so I didn't want to put any trees, so I didn't, because I didn't want it to look, I wanted it to seem like there would actually be a plane riding inside and no trees will get in its way. And that's why I created this sort of little indoor garden, because the outside didn't have that many plants, so I thought maybe people would love having some on the inside. And that's why we do have that. And we have the little chess area right next to them for a more relaxed feel when you're playing chess, and it's easier for you to concentrate. And here we are moving the seating area a little bit, because we ended up expanding after I put the roof back in. We ended up just expanding the whole lot, the whole house. And something that I do love that I used again was these industrial lamps. I haven't used them a lot. I have created a rustic industrial dining area and an industrial kitchen. If you'd like to check them out, go to my YouTube channel. I do enjoy how they turned out, but I have never really used these particular lamps, the ones that I used, and I was very happy to have the opportunity to do so. And let's see, I think we're done on the inside. I don't know what I'm doing moving this window here and there. I have really no idea, no clue what I'm doing. And moving, changing some colors to make them match and just, I don't know, work better. And we ended up at some point going on the outside creating the gazebo. So creating the gazebo, this is something that I learned watching the SIMS Supply tutorials and building videos, and also Deligracy. Those are basically my two inspirations for even starting this channel, Deligracy in particular. And I love her style, and she does show a lot of great ideas while building. If you'd like to check her out, that'd also be great. So this gazebo area that we're going to start building in a moment is something that I picked up from her. And you kind of just create a little area, like a room area somewhere outside, but with no walls. And after you make the room area, you just go one floor above it, where you have an automatic flooring, or in this case it's going to be an automatic roofing, and you use fences to kind of create this little fencing area that you can then delete the floors from and get a little shade. So that's something that I love in buildings, in houses. This little area, this patio, is something that I do really enjoy, and I've created this in other of my builds as well. And if you've seen my community lot, the Mint Bakery, I used it there, and I even covered it with some greenery so it looks even nicer, and it does give it that little bit of Italian feel, so that's something that I love. And here I decided, since we're building in the desert, we do need some shade, so I used the little tables with the umbrellas on them. And yeah, I think we're almost done. We just need to finish off the outside, and maybe I'm gonna do another couple of spins on the inside, so I do apologize if you get seasick or motion sick from all the spinning. The video isn't that fast, actually. It really isn't, but I don't know, I guess I just spin around while I'm building just to see how everything looks on each side. And I don't know what else to say about this video. I think we're almost done, and we're about to go into the screenshots. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed and like what you see, please hit the like button or subscribe, and do leave feedback, because I would love to know how you feel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye bye.
She was such a paradise, standing up a mile high. Oh, you fall to give me strength. I can't see a reason to try to fight for meaning, but you give me reason to know I still have meaning. I can feel you reaching through all the hard resistance. I know that you're with me. You've always got me through this. I'm not gonna fall for gravity, 'cause you lift me up when I can't feel. I'm not gonna fall for gravity, 'cause the world will doubt, try to bring you down, but your love is real. I can't see a reason to try